work isn't just clocking in and clocking out. I am done with being shamed for being unemployed, for not working, for not having my life look like everybody else's. I truthfully, and I'm speaking to me too, I'm trying to create, I'm trying to be vulnerable, to create space so that other people can release their shame too. Because for my entire life, I have been made to feel like my worth is tied to having a career, having a job, following the status quo, doing life the way that everybody else is. And why in God's name, and this is how I felt genuinely since I was a child, why would I want to be miserable like the rest of the world? Like, let's think about it. If a majority of people are working and they're like, and we're not talking about like unemployment rates, like let's we are focusing on the fact that Americans especially, it is work, right? And it's like your worth is tied to your ability to work, your ability to contribute to society, but only in the way that they want you to, right? So all this to say, I'm done. I'm sick and tired of this, and I want to use my voice to let other people know that there is absolutely nothing wrong with doing your own thing. And work is literally, before jobs even existed, people were working, right? Like, they were working their minds, they were working their bodies, they were working their, like, they were actually living, right? And I think that the amount of work I have put into myself these past 5-6 years is stuff people would not touch with a 10-foot pole. Like, people would not deep dive, people would not sit there and process extremely difficult things. They won't. They just go to work and they're miserable, and then they complain to me, or they complain, and like, there's nothing wrong with not enjoying your job and like being unhappy with it. But yeah, projecting that onto other people who are not doing the same thing as you that doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense, especially when we look at like, I don't know the actual statistics, but I know that the US is on the like bottom of the list of the like most fulfilled, countries there are. Like, we are so lost. And I'm only speaking for the US because that's where I am. But I know that this is not uncommon. This is not like, especially because capitalism has taken over, like, from sea to shining sea. Like, I can't, there's not a corner of the world it hasn't touched. And I think that I am not like anti, like, going to work and doing what you need to do to survive, because that's literally what I had to do for, let's think, like 20 years of my life. I was working, and I was always the one that had multiple jobs. And yes, like, I went from job to job to job, but I was never not working, you know what I mean? But people still made me feel like I was directionless, I was going nowhere, because I didn't have a degree and I wasn't working the way that people want you to. So it's like, I've put in so much work, and I am so happy with where I'm at personally. that that just makes it more frustrating because, yeah, like, I'm the happiest that I've been and the most at peace I've been, but the world, yeah, just doesn't reflect that in how they treat me, yeah, I'm sick of it. I really am. It's gonna be a shorter video. I have been wanting to upload all week, but every time I want to sit down, clearly I'm stressed about work and real life things that are happening. It's not all, even though I'm so happy, there are many stressors in my life, like everyone has. But I think that, like, I have done the work to make sure that I can handle those stressors, like, so much better than I used to by working on myself. I'm just irritated right now. Yeah, I'm soon going to be making a series of videos explaining each service that I want to start providing. Back to business. And I'm hoping to have that up by next week or the week after, just to explain to people kind of what I'm thinking. But I want feedback. Love feedback. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that everybody's doing the best they can, really. And I hope that we will all continue to follow our truth and get to where we're supposed to be and be happy. There's so much to ask. I hope you guys have a good day.